Hello, fans of the channel, sports fans, football fans, whoever you are and whatever you are, and you're out there watching my channel, which I greatly appreciate. It's Sportsman Z, Bob Zolke, and today I want to talk about the Chicago Bears hire of Ben Johnson as their new head coach. Now, I am going to tell you, I'm probably in the minority here, a serious minority, when I say I'm at least lukewarm and possibly not even really all that happy about this hiring. And I'll tell you why. Ben Johnson, as great an offensive coordinator as he is, as great as he has had the Lions offense playing for the last few years, he is not an established commodity as a head coach. He's a great coordinator, But the reason that the Bears apparently hired him is so that he could work with Caleb Williams and get Caleb Williams, make him better, I suppose. And that might be possible if he were the Bears' offensive coordinator, but he isn't. The people who are going to spend the most time with Caleb Williams for the Bears will be whoever ends up being their quarterback's coach and their offensive coordinator. Now, I don't know if Ben Johnson's going to hire an offensive coordinator or whether he's going to not do that and just take those duties himself. If he takes those duties himself, okay, it's possible he works with Caleb Williams to a great degree. But he still has no experience as a head coach, and there are a lot of things involved with being a head coach. Far more than doing a great offensive scheme, putting together a great offensive game plan. It goes way beyond that. And the last two coaches that the Bears have had, Matt Eberflus and Matt Nagy, the Matt brothers, were not that good. Now, I say not that good because Nagy actually was like maybe subpar. He wasn't great. He wasn't terrible. And Eberflus was an absolute disaster. But what did those two have in common? What they had in common is the Bears hired them as coordinators without head coaching experience. So I would have thought, crazy me, crazy Bob Zolke, crazy Sportsman Z would have thought, hey, the Bears aren't going to do that again. They're going to hire a coach with an established track record. They're not going to go into that hiring a coordinator and rolling the dice on that and coming up with another Eberflus. I was sure they weren't going to do that, but they did it. Now, we don't know how good Ben Johnson will be as a head coach. He might be a great head coach. According to all the talking heads, he'll be a great head coach. But how do they know that? It goes back to the Peter Principle. If you've never heard of the Peter Principle, and this applies not only to the sports world in coaching and managing, but to like really any career. And the Peter Principle basically says you are promoted to one step above your level of competence. And that happens with a lot of people, especially coordinators in football. They get promoted from coordinator by taking a job as a head coach with another team or promoted within their team to head coach. And they go from being a great coordinator to a terrible head coach because that's just one step above their level of competency. So I don't know if Ben Johnson will be a good head coach. I really do hope he is. I hope like hell he is. But we don't know that he's going to be. We have no evidence whatsoever that he's going to be. I would have preferred they hired a coach with a track record and preferably a good track record. Somebody like Mike McCarthy. I really wanted them to hire Mike McCarthy, and I was encouraged when they were interviewing him. And there are a couple of others, I think, that are out there floating around. head coach possibility. I would have taken Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh was a high energy and I think good coach. He just had a crappy team, and he did the best he could with the crappy team when he was a head coach. Even Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll is extremely old, but I would have taken Pete Carroll. Somebody with a track record that you know can be a head coach and that you know might be able to turn the program around. Certainly in the case of Mike McCarthy and Pete Carroll, you know that they could turn the program around because they've done it before at other stops that they've been at. So I don't know. I just don't know what the Bears were thinking. Hopefully this works out, but you got to cross your fingers because you don't know. If you hired Mike McCarthy, you would know that any falling on his face or not doing well would have been totally the team. With Ben Johnson, you don't know. It might be Ben Johnson or partly Ben Johnson and not just the team. So we'll see. That's my rant. What do you guys feel about it? Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think the Bears should have done. If you think that this Ben Johnson hire is a great hire, or whether you think they should have hired somebody with experience, as I was hoping they would. But for now, that's it for me. Sportsman Z, Bob Zolke, signing off.